Well, there are any number of ways that the planet might come to a premature end, but most people are convinced that a failure to combat climate change is the most likely cause of calamity. Well, I travelled to the northernmost community in the world to meet a man who's dedicated his life to keeping us safe. Ny-Ålesund is man's last stop before the North Pole, a small but remarkable community drawn from around the globe. It's here that I met up with polar explorer Jan-Gunnar Winther.
It's very strong scientifically and with very modern and advanced instrumentation. So we have 10 nations here working year-round.
What makes Ny-Ålesund so unique?
Well, we know that the Arctic is now responding to the climate change more than other regions of the world. And within the Arctic, the Svalbard area where we are now is even responding more quickly. So it's a hotspot within the hotspot. So with the early warning, or the canary bird if you wish, it's really here. And we see examples. The glaciers are retreating, the sea ice is disappearing on the fjord. So there are many examples that this happens now. What we see here is open water, and it's a prime example of climate change because this fjord was always frozen in the winter. The last 3 winters it's not been any sea ice here.
My goodness, how worrying is that?
Well, it's worrying, and the reason for this is that the ocean temperatures have been increasing with 1 degree here in this area.
As a scientist, when you see that, how much does it upset you?
Well, I get worried. We know that when the sea ice is disappearing, also the wildlife, the seals are not here anymore, the polar bears is going other places, so it has huge impacts on the ecosystem. The huge questions, I think, is the ice sheets, Greenland and Antarctica, how they respond to climate change, because they represent huge bodies of ice and they can raise the sea level globally with meters.
Getting a first-hand look at the effects of global warming is a chilling experience. Yes, the wind whistles through our protective gear as it drives temperatures to minus 35 degrees Celsius. But for me, what chills my spine is a simple fact: the damage is already done. But on my quest for the spirit of survival in the Arctic, cause for hope. In the remote archipelago of Svalbard, a curious-looking choir congregates to mark the opening of the world's biggest seed bank. Blasted deep into a mountain, the vault will act as a store for endangered crop seeds. They'll be kept in freezing conditions until it's thought essential to reintroduce them. Well, among the first seeds to arrive were rice samples carried in by the Nobel laureate Wangari Maathai.
If something was to happen and my generation did not have corn and did not have potatoes and did not have the current sweet potatoes, they would starve because they have lost those seeds.
Maathai is the founder of the Green Belt movement, which has planted 40 million trees across Kenya to prevent soil erosion. In the true spirit of survival, in 2004 she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for her efforts.
It is very important for this seed vault to be in existence. For one, it demonstrates the need for us to save our crop diversity, that we need that diversity, that it needs to be protected, that nations need to cooperate to save seeds, to appreciate that even though you may have a very good and safe seed bank at the national level, something could happen to you. Who would have thought that Kenya would be up in flames at this time? It could be the seed bank next time. And so I think that it is a very good thing, and it is a demonstration that there can be a commitment at the international level.
The Philippines was once Asia's leading rice producer. It's now the region's leading importer. As food prices spiral around the globe, it's planning to boost rice production by 7%. Rice is, in short, a valuable political commodity in the Philippines. At the International Rice Research Institute, which is based in the country, they're trying to develop new strains. It was a seed provided by the institute that was taken by Jan-Gunnar Winther into the Arctic vault. Well, in the grounds of the institute, rice fields sit next to laboratories as scientists race to develop strains of rice that will be able to resist any of the weather conditions that climate change may bring. Top priority at the moment is the creation of a crop that can survive flooding.
We've been able to develop some varieties that have much more tolerance to submergence. They can survive for up to 2 weeks under flooding, whereas most varieties would die within a few days. One is a popular variety in Bangladesh, and it's grown on several million hectares. And this is a country which has a lot of flooding problems, and so we think it would be very desirable for them to have a variety that's just like their favorite variety, only it's tolerant to submergence.
The work is being overseen by Robert Ziegler, an American Peace Corps veteran who's been at the forefront of the movement to apply scientific solutions to help the poor and hungry.
I think the biggest challenges that face us are sustaining the high levels of productivity that are going to be needed to feed populations that are still growing. And in that context, there's a real challenge posed by climate change. We fully expect that the storms will be more severe. We fully expect that there'll be more severe flooding. There'll be more severe droughts. And the modern tools that we have at our disposal will allow us to develop varieties that will be tolerant to these stresses that we project for the future. A lot of the criticism against genetically modified food is mixed up in a tangle of ideology, philosophy, and fear born out of fear of change. If they are manipulated by people with an ideological agenda, can turn a large number of people against what's a very powerful technology that can and should be used to benefit the world, especially the world's poor.
So what does the future really hold for the planet? What are our chances of survival? In part 3, our leaders draw their conclusions as we continue our quest for the spirit of survival.